have to say, I think I've really outdone myself this time, per usual.
Hi, I'm Caroline and welcome to Amateur Hour, my pretend cooking show. Today, I'm going to be working out of Paul Hollywood's How to Bake. I'm going to be making scones. These are actually British scones, and in the UK, they pronounce it scones, but I'm going to try to not be that pretentious today. Anyway, this is something that I used to love whenever I lived in England. I would love afternoon tea. It was like my favorite thing in the whole world, and I love scones. But I haven't been able to have them in several years, so I'm hoping that these turn out good and this can be a new favorite for me. Woo! So, they're kind of similar to biscuits, but biscuits they don't have any sugar in them. I've made biscuits a lot of times, so hopefully this should be easy. Okay, first thing, heat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius. Okay, so 220, 428, okay, 425 is gonna have to work. So when I do biscuits, I normally do this whole part in a food processor, but I don't know if it's any different, and I guess we'll see. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put the flour and the butter in here, and we're gonna make a breadcrumb-like mixture. 500 grams of bread flour, I have that right here. 80 grams of unsalted butter. Again, I softened this on my radiator. Into pieces, whoops, that's not really cut into the kind of pieces I know that they want. All right. And so we're gonna rub the butter into the flour until we get a breadcrumb-like mixture. I keep thinking that we're done, but then I come across another like big piece of butter. Anyway, so it kind of looks like a breadcrumb-like consistency now. Okay, now we're adding the sugar, eggs, and baking powder. So if you've ever watched the Great British Baking Show, you know that they use caster sugar, which is what this recipe calls for. I don't know, I think I may be falling into a marketing scam. It is, I've looked at it and it is. The sugar's a lot finer than granulated sugar. It's in between granulated sugar and powdered sugar. It's not as fine as powdered sugar. It still like holds its grain structure. So I don't know if I necessarily needed this, but I thought, you know what? Paul Hollywood's a particular guy, and I'm not looking to disappoint him today. So, thought I'd get the caster sugar. I am loving this little weight thing. It makes everything so much easier. I don't have to measure out anything. So I need 80 grams of caster sugar. I put too much in. Okay, whatever, we're at 83 grams. That's good enough for me. All right, and then we're putting in our baking powder, 5 tablespoons of baking powder. Man, oh man, these are rising, aren't they? I put my tablespoon somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. I'm trying to get organized for these things, you know, all the best laid plans. Lightly beaten, put in. Now I'm going to mix it. It says with a wooden spoon, but I've only got so. Oh no. Oh! Gotten all over my Paul Hollywood book. It's fine. Everything's fine over here. Don't worry about me. Okay, so I'm gonna add half the milk and then stir this evenly, combine it. Don't want to add all of it. I feel like in my fear to not add all of it, I'm gonna add too much. Whatever. Okay, it's saying here I may not need all of the milk. It stresses me out. How much milk do I need then? Can't hear that. Oh, we don't have a ghost. It's not looking very wet. It's getting very dry. have a lot more milk left, which is making me nervous. It's soft, but it doesn't, maybe it is wet. I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna put my hands in here. I need to get a better idea. The problem is with scones, you really don't want to over knead it. I learned that on the Great British Baking Show because, you know, I'm basically a professional baker. It says you may not need old milk, but it never said that you may need extra milk. I feel like I put too much milk in. I definitely put too much milk in. It's too wet. Yeah, I put too much milk in. Oh, y'all, I know what happened. Oh my God! So it originally, in the recipe on the left side, it says 500 grams strong white flour, but I was including the amount that I'm supposed to sprinkle, and I just put 500 grams in total from the beginning. So I had 50 extra grams of flour in there. Whoops! So that's why I needed extra milk. It's just all, oh my goodness. If I was in the technical challenge right now, I'd start over, but what is the worst that can happen? I only put in 50 extra grams of flour, you know? Okay, and then turn it 90 degrees. It's really sticky. So this is called chafing. I think I've already messed it up. It says just do this until the dough is formed. My dough is already formed, and there is like, this is really sticking to my pan, my thing right here. Let's see if that was supposed to happen. Can I take some of this off? Really worried about overworking the dough. I probably already did. So in typical amateur hour fashion, my camera went to sleep in the middle of me doing this, so I filmed this quite a bit. But you missed me rolling out my dough to 2.5 centimeters. And then cutting them using this 7-inch pastry cutter, but all I have is an 8-inch glass, so that's what we're using. You missed me having extreme anxiety about overworking my dough, so really not much. I then put an egg wash on the top and pop them in the oven for 15 minutes. So yeah, whoops. Truly phenomenal.
We're getting a really good rise, which I was not expecting. They're looking phenomenal, honestly. Ah!
All right, so I definitely should have spread them out a little more, but they look really good. Ooh, I don't think they're cooked. Oh, they're not cooked. This is raw. Oh, raw. Okay, let me spread them apart and I'm put it back in for a couple more minutes. I'm gonna put some foil over top. I've never done this before, but I've seen other people do it before, so it's basically the same thing, right? I don't want to burn the tops of these because the tops are looking pretty good. All right, so at this point I've cooked them almost 10 minutes over their suggested baking time. I took out 2 that look like they're cooked, but the rest of them, I don't know, y'all. The rest of them look raw on the inside. All right, so lesson learned: when Paul Hollywood says he wants a 7-inch pastry cutter, he means he wants a 7-inch pastry cutter. 8 inches will not do. I have cooked these for almost 30 minutes. They're supposed to cook for 15. There's still a couple that look a little raw. I'm just hoping that they're gonna continue to cook a little bit on the cooling sheet. They do look very pretty, even if they're raw. All right, so we're about to try our scone here. This is the one of the ones that I think did not turn out raw. Let's see, should be able to split it just by pulling it if I did them right. All right. Smell pretty good. So I have here some blackberry jam that I'm gonna put on it. I like to put my jam on before the clotted cream, but it's just a preference. I got this clotted cream from World Market. I don't know if it's gonna be the same as the stuff I had in the UK, but we're certainly gonna try it. I tried to look up online how to make clotted cream at home, but you need this special type of
milk and it takes like 12 hours to do, so hopefully this will be good enough. I don't know if I like the clotted cream. It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. I'm gonna try a bit without the clotted cream. It's really good. I think I was making this in the future. And the recipe was supposed to make 15 scones. I might only made 9. So I think I would make the scones smaller and it would decrease my cooking time for the scones. Because I was supposed to only have to cook them for 15 minutes, but then they ended up raw on the inside. And I ended up having to cook them for like around 30 minutes, which is not normal. So besides that, I have a great recipe. I don't know if I needed the caster sugar. I mean, I like it, but I'll have to try it sometime with the granulated sugar and see if I can taste the difference. But overall, delicious.